Another way that you can improve your students' experience when using your course is to customize the left-hand menu for your course. Now, the items that are populated inside of here are ones that are part of a default template for all courses here at Channel Islands, and they're only meant as a suggestion to get you started. The items that are in here are things like the information section, which is a great place for you to put all general common information about your course, items such as your course syllabus. The content section would be a place for you to put all of the content for your course. The problem with this is it tends to get a little messy, and the students don't always know what content is the current content that they need to be looking at. So to remedy this, let's go ahead and delete this content section by clicking on the small drop-down menu to the right-hand side of the content listing and simply choose the delete option. We'll go ahead and click OK to verify that we want to get rid of this whole section. The content section is now gone. Let's go ahead and add a custom content section by clicking on the plus sign at the top of that column and then selecting Content Area, which is the first item. We can then choose a custom name for that content area. I'll go ahead and type in Week 1. This way, I can make all of my content for each week of my semester available to my students packaged up in one simple spot for them to find. You could also use an organizational structure such as units, chapters, or whatever the particular organizational method that you use for your course. The next thing we want to do is check the box for available to users. This way, your students will be able to see this link and it will be available to them. Now, if you're building your course ahead of time and you don't want to release that content out to your students yet, you can go ahead and leave this option deselected, and then your students won't see the content until you're ready to reveal it to them. I'll go ahead and leave this item selected and then click the Submit button. You'll notice that I have a new content area that's now appeared at the bottom of my content section. I'll go ahead and move my mouse over to the left-hand side. You'll notice that my cursor turns into a crosshair, indicating that I can now click and drag on that item and move it to a new location. I'll go ahead and drag Week 1 up here directly underneath of the information section. I can now repeat this process and create additional content areas for each week of the term by simply going up, clicking on the plus button, selecting Content Area, typing in Week 2, checking the box for Available to Users, and click the Submit button, and then move that item up into place. I'll go ahead and do one more, call it Week 3, and this one I'll leave unavailable to users. I'll go ahead and click the Submit button, drag it up into place, and now you can see the difference. Weeks 1 and 2, the content is available to the students. That way, they can work on the current week's content. They can even work a little bit ahead, but I may not want them to work too far ahead, so I'll leave that hidden. I can still see the content, and I notice that it's got the box with the line through it indicating that it's not available to my students. When I'm ready to make this content available to the students, all I need to do is click the drop-down menu and select the option for Show Link. The page refreshes, and you'll notice that that content is now available to my students. One more thing to show you about organizing your course menu on the left-hand side, and that is if we come back up here to the plus, we can come down here for the option for Divider. The divider is one of these horizontal lines that we can once again move our mouse over to the left-hand side of it and drag it up into place. Now we can create some visual separation between some general overview information about our course and the weekly content. I'll go ahead and add another divider in here, move it up into place, and now week by week, I can now go in and move Week 1 down and move Week 2 up. That way the student always knows what is the current content that I should be looking at, and then all the other content that's available for my course can be separated out. These are just a couple of suggestions that may make your course a little bit better organized so your students are able to find the information that they're looking for. Use some of these tools in your own teaching to find the best method of organization that works for your particular content.